Hey, it's Jen and welcome back to my channel. So it's been about 6 months since I was able to change my body from this to this, and about 4 months since I quit weights altogether. So I wanted to give you an update of what I feel is working, how I've been able to maintain my results, if not get better results. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 10 things that I feel like have really helped me to change my body. So if you're a woman over 40 or 50 like me and really struggling with your body, with crepey skin, with cellulite, with your body not changing, or if you're feeling puffy from your workouts and you really are just feeling frustrated, then this video is for you, because if the things that I'm doing can help me, then I feel like they can help some of you as well. This does not involve a lot of restriction, a lot of time even. I feel like as we get older, we have even less time. I'm a mom of 3. I'm an old mom of 3. Actually, I had my last baby at 45, and I take care of my aunt who lives with me with dementia. I was over the summer taking care of my mother-in-law who has advanced dementia. And I just feel like when we're younger, we feel like we have a lot of time. And I just find that as we get older, have less and less time. So I knew I had to change a bunch of things. So for one, I was always vegetarian. And, after researching it, I realized a lot of the vegetarian things I was eating, the packaged food, the vegetarian meatballs and sausage, was considered a packaged food. So I wanted to really eliminate as much packaged food as possible. And I started eating meat again and dairy. But this was just the easiest way for me to increase my protein, because I knew I had to increase my protein not only to help me build muscle, but for my skin, because as an esthetician, I know the importance of collagen stimulation, and having adequate protein is really vital as we get older to help us build muscle and to help our skin be better. So for me, this was really, really baby steps in forcing myself to eat, even when I'm not hungry. So a lot of women have programmed themselves, myself included, to not eat in the morning. I would just have coffee and delay my eating as long as possible, but that wasn't really working for me. So I also say, if what you're doing is not working, then we have to change something. And a lot of the specialists will talk about the 30-30-30. So eat within 30 minutes of waking, have 30 grams of protein, and ideally do 30 minutes of exercise. So I don't do the 30 minutes of exercise in the morning. I don't have that kind of time, but I did do the 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking. And most of the time I am not hungry. So it's really a mindset of just forcing myself to eat. I really focused on protein at every single meal and every single snack. And I didn't love it, but I totally didn't love it. But this is just something that I had to brainwash myself into doing if I wanted to change my body. Now, if you know a better way to change your body without getting in all the protein, please let me know. Put it down below, because I haven't been able to figure that out other than increasing my protein. But the protein enables us to change our body, recomp our bodies from being skinny fat or mushy to firmer. So I was aiming for 120 grams of protein. Because I'm about 120 pounds, it's a lot harder as you get older to build muscle. So if you're watching this and you're in your 30s, then just try and build as much muscle as you can in your 30s, because I wish I would have done that. So it's a lot harder, especially if you're in menopause and your hormones are dropping, you don't have hormones and you're not taking hormone replacement. I'm not taking hormone replacement. I did start incorporating something though, but I will talk about that later in the skincare portion of what I do for my skin specifically. We're also going to talk about the workouts, and I'll give you some ideas so that you can also work out, build muscle, and help to tighten and firm your skin. So for me, the protein powders enabled me to hit my protein goals, but I've been able to slowly kind of take them out. But my top protein choices, I really like the clear 1-Up and only these specific flavors. So the peach ring and the lemon ice in my Greek yogurt, and then I mix this in if I was like craving something sweet, because I do have a sweet tooth. And then sometimes I would put in frozen berries as opposed to granola, so that I was getting like that crunch, but without the calories and the carbs and all the fat from the granola. So the next thing that was really important for me was to increase my fiber. So I always said protein first and fiber second. So I'm aiming for 25 to 35, if not more, grams of fiber a day, which is really also good for our just digestion, our gut health, and for our skin. The easiest way for me, I found, again, in baby steps to get in this much fiber, was I would weigh out my vegetables in the morning and try and eat a pound of vegetables a day. So I definitely recommend trying to know the macros of your food so that you know how much protein, fats, and carbs that you're getting. So whether it's like 1 week and you put it in an app, or 1 week and you weigh things, it is really annoying. I get it. But there's no way you're going to be able to really change your bodies unless you know specifically if you're getting the right amount of nutrients and protein in each meal. And then that's why eating the same things for me is also easier, because then I just know how much protein I'm getting because I'm always eating the same things. In my last video, I talked about how I cut down on drinking during the week, and I have maintained that. So now I still only drink on the weekends, and I still really, really love these little champagne bottles. So I either get the rosé one or the regular one, and it enables me to control my serving size more. I still like to put either like a dash of tequila, or you can also put a dash of vodka if you want, and it just gives it like a little kick. You can still totally drink if you want to drink and change your body composition. You just have to be smarter about it. I did a whole video on it. I was able to always be thin and still drink, but I really feel like I wanted to replace those kind of empty calories through the alcohol and incorporate more protein in, and just have better sleep and just have better cognitive function. And it wasn't like an overnight thing. I started incorporating more herbal teas, sleep teas. One of my favorite is this rest one. It's like a 2-part tea, and I really like this one. The other thing I really like is this Rasa Dream cacao. It tastes like hot chocolate. So comment down below if there's ones that you like, because now that it's getting cold, I like to try different herbal things to help you relax, get calm at night. So speaking of sleep, this is the next thing that I really, really prioritize. But as much as possible, I try and keep a consistent sleep schedule. I don't sleep in on the weekends because there's something called sleep jet lag. It's really important for fat loss as well. I highly suggest prioritizing sleep. So the next thing that is really, really important that I do now all the time, that also took time, is prioritizing myself. In a lot of my programs, I talk about the becoming her concept, is really thinking about the person that you want to become. Like me, it was becoming the healthiest, strongest version of myself, being a good role model for my kids, thinking about every day, all the decisions that I make from the perspective, from the person of becoming the healthiest, strongest version of myself. So what would she do? Would this person sleep in and not do 5 minutes of exercise? Would this person choose to have coffee and not eat until 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Or would she choose to fuel her body with more healthy whole foods? So every decision that I started to make was based on this person that I wanted to become, the healthiest, strongest version of myself. And I wouldn't beat myself up if I didn't always hit all my goals for the day. I would give myself grace and really, really worked on my self-talk. Okay, so next would be supplements. I have kind of cut down my supplements and added in new supplements to really address this blood flow and circulation, which I feel like is the key for helping us to age just better. So to be healthier on the inside and on the outside. So when I talk about nitric oxide support and cellular hydration, it's not just about skin glow. It's about keeping our heart and our circulation really going strong, which then therefore also helps our skin. So for nitric oxide support for blood flow and circulation, I started using this No Beats nitric oxide fueled energy. So I will have this, you put it in like 3 or 4 ounces of water, either before you exercise or when you feel like you need energy. And so I purchased this, and also this nitric oxide, these lozenges. So you can have these a few times a day. So I have low blood pressure. Do want to be careful if you have low blood pressure. When I researched it, the company says that it's fine, but of course, do your own research. But the science behind it I really like, and I do want to really, really work on my circulation, my blood flow. I feel like that is really, really vital for our health, for our heart health, just in general, for our health as we are aging. So as our estrogen drops, our immunity can be compromised. I noticed I was getting sick more often once I started being into menopause, and I was really confused by this because I was being healthier. So I started using, and I'm still using, this GSH complex. It's a glutathione precursor, so it just helps our cells to function better. It helps my immunity. Since I've taken it, I really haven't gotten sick. And why I still love this product is because I use it on my skin as well. So I'm a big fan of multi-purpose products, multi-purpose tools. So I use this on my skin here at home when I do treatments. I like it for cellulite. I like it for skin firming. I like it for calming. It's great for rashes. So it's great for a lot of things. And when I got this, when I buy it, I get this water booster. And I swear by this because I'm horrible at drinking water. I hate drinking water, but I know it's really important. And I know our skin is the last thing to get water when we drink water, because our skin is not a vital organ. So when you drink water, it will go to your vital organs before it will go to your skin. So it is really important to be hydrated for our cells to just function better. So when I add this, I add a capful of this to my water twice a day, and it just helps your water be more hydrating for your skin. So when you put a capful of this into your water, it makes your water 10 times more intracellularly hydrating. So therefore, like, your water is hydrating your body better. It's a delivery system. It definitely works because I don't drink a lot of water, but this helps me to feel really hydrated. I feel like it plumps the skin. And now I use this topically as well because it is a delivery system. I've noticed that it does help my products penetrate in better through the research of doing this. So I put this, when I dilute the water down, I'll put it into a spray bottle and I keep it upstairs in my bathroom, and I will mist my face to, just mist my face through the day if I'm working from home and feeling like my skin is a little bit dry, to kind of revigorate my skincare products. Or I will mix it in with my serums. I'll put it on before my serums, and it helps my products penetrate in better. I'll put it on after I do like my skin firming treatments to help products absorb in better. And then I mix the diluted water that I make when I'm using this, or when I use it as a mask for my cellulite treatments, for my skin firming treatments. So I swear by that, just for more hydrated, glowing skin from the inside. And now I use it topically as well. So creatine. So I still struggle with water retention. I always have struggled with water retention, which is another reason why I like these workouts that I figured out, because I'm having less water retention. So creatine does still make me retain water, and I've tried all different ones, but the best way I found is to break it up. So half a scoop in the morning and then half a scoop later on, as opposed to one 5 milligram scoop. I have switched to this brand. When I get my protein powder, I'll just buy their Pure Rebuild, because on top of creatine, it also has the essential amino acids in it. So it has, more building blocks for protein, and it has electrolytes in it as well. So I'm still taking collagen. So more and more studies are coming out on the benefits of collagen. So I have originally started with the Verisol collagen because that Mary Claire Haber, who wrote the new menopause book, recommended Verisol for cellulite. So I was like, I want to try that. And then I found the Healthy Bones Co. one, and I still really like this. This has the Verisol in it. It has the Fortibone, Fortigel, and Fortitendin. And when I ordered my protein powder, I wanted to try this collagen peptides because it's coconut, and I just love coconut. And this one, in addition, has also protein in it. So it's like 14 grams of protein, plus it has the collagen peptides, plus it has hyaluronic acid in it as well. So I like that. So I just go back and forth between the two. Now, for skin firming, as an esthetician, I really think it's important to be more consistent. So the more consistent you are, just with anything, with your diet, with your skincare, with your workouts, you're going to get better results, and it doesn't have to be complicated at all. So the things I mainly stick to, I still really love microneedling at home. Once a week, I was doing these microneedling treatments. Now, a lot of people have asked me and said, is once a week too aggressive? So obviously everyone's skin is different, and I don't do once a week on my face. On my face, when I do it, I will do every 4 to 6 weeks. On my body, I was doing weekly treatments, and I was rotating either between a roller of 2 millimeters to 3 millimeters in depth, and then this stamper, which I always talk about. I love this stamper because it's 0 to 3 millimeters. So you can use it anywhere on the body. You don't have to keep changing out rollers, because this, I would never, just use this on my face all the time. Even when I do deeper on my face, I don't do 2 or 3 millimeters, and under my eyes for sure, no. So when you can adjust it, it's just better. I would not do this every single week forever. I did a series where I would do every single week for like 4 to 6 weeks and then take a break. So it's like when people come into me for a facial for more aggressive treatments, we do a series of 4 to 6 and then take a break and then do other types of treatments. I would do this anywhere I wanted to have a lot of skin firming, where I was having laxity. So here I was getting lax skin, cellulite. For sure on my belly, because I had 3 C-sections, 3 babies, this completely changed the quality of skin on my belly. I did a whole video on how I do the stamping for my belly, so be sure to check that out. I did this always here on my knees because my knees were driving me crazy. The cellulite, the skin laxity, and you can do it on the back of your legs. And then afterwards, I would either apply that GSH powder mixed with the water that I showed you down when I was in the kitchen. This is how I put the water in my bathroom, and I'll apply the water onto my skin when it's a little bit wet before I apply any serums. When I would do my microneedling, I would also spray the skin so it's a little bit damp, and then either apply that mask, the GSH powder, with the water mixed together and apply it as a mask, or I would apply my Firm Up gel. And so I leave this out on my counter, and then I'll apply it morning and night, because if it's out, then I'm going to use it. If it's in my cabinet, I'll forget about it and I won't use it. And then I rotate with this Booty Booster gel. I like the gels because they give an immediate firming to the skin. The other thing I started trying when I bought that nitric supplement, or I bought their skincare products. So the serum, because it's supposed to also increase blood flow and circulation. So I bought this. It's not cheap. I bought the eye cream and I also bought the face cream. Out of the three, I feel like I like the serum. I just don't love these type of dispensers because one always finishes before the other. So now one of the dispensers works and the other one doesn't. And I literally hate this kind of delivery system. Now I'm not using it because there's only one of the containers is working. So I don't know necessarily if I would recommend it. I feel like I did like the serum, but it's super annoying at the price point that happens. Now, also, I talked about in my other video how I use that ceramic tool to help break up the cellulite, and then have switched to this wooden tool, which I originally was using for my scalp to increase blood flow and circulation, to help with hair growth as I get older. And then I found that it was just giving me a better result because it's a deeper tool to get into the fascia to help increase the blood flow and circulation. I have the free guide down below on how I do this specifically because I talk about it in all my videos. I use it on my face all the time now instead of other tools. I find the results a lot better. It's gentle on the skin. It doesn't bruise me like all those other fascia things that I've tried in the past, the ceramic tools. And as we get older, our skin is thinner, it's more delicate, it's prone to bruising, and it takes longer to heal. So wood is closer to bone. This is sandalwood. It's just a gentler on the skin. And I just find I got better results, faster results utilizing this for the cellulite and even for skin firming. If you do it in the way that I figured out, which is you need pressure, pull, and shear in order to stimulate collagen, fibroblasts, and hyaluron within your skin. The other thing I really have been passionate about is addressing your skin from multiple layers and depths. So I talk about this in the workouts. So I think with the skin, that's also important. It's something no one really talks about. So when people talk about red light therapy, which is great, but there are other colors of light that you would want to incorporate if you can. So blue light will address more the surface of the skin. Green light addresses more the surface of the skin. So when you have a tool that has multiple light colors, okay, just something to think about. So then you can address the surface of the skin, more the middle layers of the skin, and the deeper layers of the skin. And I'm a big fan of vibration. This tool vibrates. Any tool that you can get that vibrates, which helps increase the blood flow and circulation. Because the more blood flow and circulation that you have, the more radiant your skin is going to look. It's going to be plumper. It's going to look healthier, not only on your face, but on your body, which is why the workouts that I figured out over trial and error help increase that blood flow and circulation, which gives you that skin firming effect. So I also want to show you, this is the estrogen. It's estradiol and progesterone. That is like a vaginal cream that I use once a day. And I do like it. I'm going to continue it. I felt like a little bit difference in my mood and my energy. It's my entry point into, I guess, HRT. I don't know if I'm going down that road. I'm really curious all of your thoughts on that because my OBGYN isn't into hormone replacement therapy unless you have symptoms. And I really didn't have symptoms. I don't have like massive amounts of symptoms, but at the same time, I'm always like, well, maybe if I could feel better on it, then I should take it. So I don't know. I'm still really on the fence about utilizing it. I know there's so much great data about it. I get it. But of course, with anything, there's positives and negatives. So if you saw some of my other videos, I stopped weight training over the summer because it was kind of a time thing. I didn't have as much time to work out. My mother-in-law moved in and she has more progressed dementia. We couldn't really leave her. We went on vacation, and usually I will join a gym when I go on vacation because I like to just try new gyms and get inspired by other people that are working out. This year I was like, I'm just going to use my bands that I was using and just see how my body responds and just get my steps in and do a little sit training, speed intensity training, which I'll also talk about. So when I was using only the bands and I was doing like 10 minutes a day, and then if I had 5 minutes here or there, like when I was in the house, I would do the band. I noticed my body felt tighter. Even my stomach was getting tighter. And I really wanted to figure out why this was happening. So I really did a deep dive into band training, specifically challenging band training, because the band was really hard. and I was trying to figure out how I was getting firmer in so much less time, because I was spending like 45 minutes doing weight training, and I was doing like 10 minutes of band training. And then I just felt like even my skin was getting tighter and I had less cellulite. So I was like, how is this happening? So it turns out when you do really hard band training and then do it in the way that I was doing it, called variable resistance training. So I was doing a full range of motion, and then as I was getting tired, I still felt like I had some strength in me. So if I was doing biceps, then I would continue to do half reps, quarter reps, and pulses. And that wound up being a lot of time under tension, which increased my blood flow and circulation, which really helped to like flush out my skin and my body, giving me a tighter look and also not giving me that puffy look that I was getting when I was doing more weight training. So for me, when I was doing weight training, I did a whole video on it. I felt like I looked worse, and I still felt like I was puffy all the time. So now when I switched to bands, I felt leaner, like that tighter look that I really wanted, that I didn't get from anything else, from classes, from Pilates, obviously from weights. I'm really loving the bands and what it's doing for my body. I feel like I'm even healthier than I was. I went to the gym. I did a video on that as well and tested my strength because I was nervous I would lose some of my strength, and I didn't. I was actually stronger. And that's what a lot of the studies say, because when you do the bands, you're training your body in your stronger range of motion. So you're not putting pressure on your joints, but you're training your body in your stronger ranges of motion, which enables you to actually build more strength and build more muscle in way less time. So I'm so excited about this. I started talking about it and sharing it. I created a 30-day band challenge because a lot of women were asking me how I was using the band. So there's links below on that. And you see, I use it in the kitchen all the time because I literally, if I have 5 minutes, will do it. And like the skincare, if it's out on the counter and I see it, it reminds me to think about just doing 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and it really adds up. So I really did feel like there was something missing in the industry between being a personal trainer and being an esthetician. There wasn't anything that addressed the skin on our body, the changes that we were having as we were aging, the skin laxity, the cellulite, the loose skin when people are losing weight, how to firm that up in the best way possible. So this band has really done that for me, and a lot of women that have started the band are really excited about the results. So this band really enables you to train your whole entire body in a fast amount of time without the joint problems. This does count as my strength training because it doesn't matter if you're lifting weights, if you're doing a challenging band, if you're lifting a tree. Like, your body doesn't know what you're lifting. You just need to have a lot of tension on the muscle in order to build the muscle and build the bone. So these bands you can attach to things. So you'll see that I'll attach them to things in the park. You obviously want to make sure it's not like something where it can damage whatever band that you have, because in order to build muscle, you have to challenge your body. It has to be hard. And the other key for this is you have to have a lot of time under tension to increase that blood flow and circulation. So that's why I like to do a full range of motion, and then as you progress, shorten the range of motion. So you do half reps, quarter reps, and end with pulses for pretty much 99% of the exercises. I did launch a 30-day band challenge, which is 10 minutes a day of band workouts, plus you get some extra burnouts, as I call them. So if there's areas that you want to target more, so arms, glutes, shoulders, whatever, there's burnouts in there, and there's sit workouts as well, which is the speed, intensity, sprint interval training. So really get your heart rate up. I'll talk about that as well. So keep on watching. So it's a really good way, the best way I found to really burn fat the fastest for perimenopausal, menopausal, and older women without stressing out our bodies. So here, for instance, attach it higher, right? And then do back exercises and bicep exercises. Then you can attach it lower, and then, come and sit lower and do exercises at different angles. You can do rotational exercises like this, come down and do them at a different angle. So working on angles is really, really important because it targets your muscle just from different ways in order to really challenge your muscle and to get better results. Then for legs, I usually lay down and do the band. You can also do the band standing, step on the band, and then you would attach it, choose one of the loops. You can try not to hold on. So this way it's incorporating more of your balance and stabilizing muscles. So that's the other thing. When you're doing this, it's really a whole body workout. So you can really mimic any exercise that you do with weights with the band. There's all creative ways to utilize it, for glutes, for your legs, for inner thighs, and do all kind of creative things. I do like to, in the interest of time, for my shoulders, because this is a challenging band, like I said. So I can't get this over my head in order to do like shoulder presses and my side lateral raises. I will use 2 bands in order to do that. And then you could step on the band to make it harder or just come down. So women have asked me how you progressive overload with something like this. So you can choose where you're putting your foot or stepping on the band, or which band that you're going to hold. When I do legs, sometimes for single leg deadlifts, I'll fold it in half and do it. But again, it's really challenging. You want to not rush to the motion. You work slower, doing the full range of motion, half reps, quarter reps, and pulses. So it's a lot of time under tension. And you will see if you are consistent, just 10 minutes a day, you're going to get fast results. Women are emailing me all the time. They're so surprised that they are feeling sore because they're used to lifting weights. They're so surprised that they are feeling tighter really quickly, because when you train with weights, you don't get that same increase in blood flow and circulation. And that is really vital, I've found, for helping us to have the tighter skin that we're looking for. Less cellulite, tighter skin. And then if you incorporate more of that fascia sculpting, that wooden tool really helps to also increase the blood flow and circulation a lot faster to even get faster results. So definitely give band training a try. I lifted weights forever and I've never, had this type of quick results and this like leaner look that I was really always looking for. So I like to use this band for my sit training as well. So Stacy Sims talks a lot about sit training, sprint interval training. I like to call it speed interval training, because get your heart rate, like on a scale of 1 to 10, get your heart rate to like an 11, and then you completely rest and then do that, 3 to 6 times. So it's super, super fast. So I'll use the band to incorporate my sit training as well as my jump training. So it's important to also have that impact for our bones as we're getting older. I'll do different jumping things twice a week usually. In my 30-day band challenge, there's all different ways of how I utilize it depending on your level and where you're starting from. Where I'll attach it and I use it as like an inertia rope. So even here, you would say attach it and then you kind of make it go really fast and it just vibrates your whole body. And that really is challenging, and get your heart rate up in like 20 seconds, get your heart rate up, then fully rest. And that has really helped me to have dropped visceral fat. I have that Hume body scale and my body fat keeps dropping. I'm eating more than I ever have, good quality food, high protein, but definitely a lot more calories. And my body keeps losing body fat and gaining more muscle according to my Hume scale. So that's what we want. Less visceral fat, more muscle as we're getting older. So the last thing that really made a difference, I feel like, was being aware of my movement and my daily steps. Everybody's talking about it now, but I did feel like switching to a watch that I could track my steps, or if you want to track it on your phone, because the more that you are aware of your steps, the more you can change your habits. I'll try and get extra steps in. If I notice I'm only at 5,000 steps, then I'll take, a little 30-minute walk at night, or get on my walking pad, or change my treadmill into a walking desk. So that makes it a lot easier when I'm working from home to get little 10-minute walks in throughout my day. It really adds up. And I find that 15,000 steps, if I can get it, really can change your body. There's a lot of studies on that. 15,000 steps, you can lose a lot of body fat, change your body just from that alone. But you definitely need still strength training. Do not rely just on walking. You want to sculpt your body, build muscle, change your skin as you're aging. So I hope this gives you hope that you can change your body, build muscle, tighten your skin as you are aging. Definitely comment down below any areas you are struggling. Check out the free guides, and I will see you in the next one.